Krishna was explaining that he is the compiler of Vedanta, and all the Vedas come from him, and he is the subject of the Vedas. So, in this way, we can easily understand that Vedanta, there is nothing about becoming God or being God or I am Brahma. That is the philosophy taught by Shankaracharya, right? Also in Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna says, I am the supreme shelter of the yoga system. Means, Krishna says, Aham yogasya samkasya. So all the yoga system come from me. That is how he is presenting that in the Bhagavad Gita. In Bhagavad Gita, Krishna, he describes 17 types of yoga. So Krishna, he is actually the one who is revealing yoga. So then we have Patanjali. Patanjali, he is the representative of the Ashtanga Yoga. But Patanjali is not the creator of Ashtanga Yoga, as so many people think. He's just the compiler. He's just, systematizing the teachings that actually Krishna has already presented in Bhagavad Gita, in Srimad Bhagavatam, and other scriptures. Right? So, in this way, basically what Krishna is teaching to Arjuna in Bhagavad Gita is, Arjuna, under all circumstances, you should become a yogi. And among all the yogis, the Bhakta, he is the best. To be a Bhakta yogi is the best of all yogas. So, this is Krishna's opinion. Those who are united with Krishna in love, they are actually called yogis. So this is the real yoga. So this message, it will be present also in the Ashtanga Yoga of Patanjali, as well as in the Ayurveda of Charaka Maharishi. Okay? Now let us learn more about Patanjali. Patanjali, he is always depicted with the form of the snakes. You can see here. He has this Patanjali, many-foot snake around him. Why is that?
It's an incarnation of Anantashesh.
Yes. Now comes the next photograph, which is the Mahavishnu lying on Anantashesh bed. One time, Lord Shiva was dancing for Mahavishnu. And Mahavishnu was so ecstatic by watching that dance. Because the dance of Shiva are the asanas, the mudras of Hatha Yoga, right? So Anantashesh became very surprised to see Mahavishnu in that state that he never saw before. So Mahavishnu was becoming heavier, and Anantashesh was unable to float in the waters, on the waters. And then when his body was almost touching the water, Shiva stopped dancing, and then again Mahavishnu was able to float in Anantashesh. Then Anantashesh, he asked to Mahavishnu, please bless me so that I can learn this dance of Shiva and also teach to others, so that I can please you in the same way that I have seen Shiva pleasing you. So in this way, Mahavishnu gave blessings, and then Anantashesh incarnates in this world as Patanjali. When he was searching for his mother, he found a very powerful yogini, and while she was doing puja in the river, she took some water, and then one small snake appeared in her hands. Then when she brought out of the water, it became a baby. Therefore the name Patanjali, the one who descends upon the hands, is the meaning of Patanjali. So now, considering that Patanjali is an incarnation of Anantashesh, Anantashesh is a servant of God. So in the work of Patanjali, Bhakti Yoga must be present. Because what Anantashesh does himself is Bhakti Yoga. So why he would not teach Bhakti Yoga to others, right? And the act of dancing, it is a devotional act. You're dancing for the pleasure of the Lord. You're not dancing for your satisfaction. So Lord Shiva was not dancing for himself. his dance was Bhakti Yoga. So in this way, many yogis, many followers of Patanjali Yoga, they actually say, yes, Patanjali, he likes a little bit of Bhakti Yoga, but that's not the whole idea of Ashtanga Yoga. The whole idea of Ashtanga Yoga is to become one with God, is to reveal the God inside of yourself, right? To reveal the divinity in you and then become completely transcendent. So now let us see if really Patanjali means that or not, and how much Bhakti is in Patanjali's treatise. I'm going to show to you today in this presentation. Now let us introduce Charaka Rishi. You know that Ayurveda was manifested by Dhanvantari, who is the avatar of Vishnu, right? And Charaka Rishi also, he did not create Ayurveda. He just compiled and systematized the same way that Patanjali did. He made everything in the text form. He created the Charaka Samhita. So there he gives all the philosophical and technical conceptions of Ayurveda. Okay? So I'm going to show you how from behind Ayurveda there is also Bhakti Yoga. And devotion to God is actually the main pillar for health and happiness. So, how the Ayurveda works? First, prevention of diseases, then the treatment of diseases, then to increase the vitality, and last, to expand the consciousness through yoga and samadhi. So we can see that the fourth stage of Ashtanga Yoga is to develop samadhi. Okay? And what samadhi means? I'm going to explain also that the meaning of samadhi is actually bhakti. Okay? So in Charaka Samhita is said, body and mind are the sides of illness and also of happiness, which is equal to the state of health. The balanced use of body and mind is the cause of happiness. So if you have a balanced body and mind, you become happy. And if you are happy, you are healthy. Okay? So that's the point. So here, when Charaka talks about balance of mind, this is the same definition of Patanjali, of yoga. That is to stop the oscillations of the chitta. So this is the same concept. I'm going to develop that further. Also, Charaka, he describes two types of therapies. One is spiritual and one mental. The spiritual therapies are sacrifices, offerings, auspicious recitations of mantra, all type of related devotional activity. And the therapies for the mind are counseling, yoga, meditation, knowledge of Vedic scriptures, mind control, memory of experiences, and samadhi. Okay? Alright. So now for us to be able to continue understanding this whole process, we have to know about the three gunas. What is sattva, rajas and tamas? Now, why is that? Why we have to learn about this to understand spirituality? Because Charaka explains that the doshas of the mind is not kapha, pitta and vata, but is sattva, rajas and tamas. So the doshas that govern the body is kapha, pitta and vata, but the mind is not governed by kapha, pitta and vata. Mind is governed by sattva, rajas and tamas. And the whole process of achieving perfection goes through controlling the mind. So it means you have to first control sattva, rajas and tamas. Means we have to come to the stage of sattva guna, which is the mode of goodness. Okay? So basically, sattva means goodness, and sattva means balance. Sattva has a movement to within and to up. Within and upward. This is the movement of sattva. Rajas means passion. in other words, means movement. And the movement of rajas is to outside. The movement of tamas, which means darkness or ignorance, is down. And tamas means stagnation. There is no movement, there is no balance, it's full stagnation. So a person situated in sattva guna is a person who seeks for enlightenment, devotion, power of life. Is a person who has sattvic habits in the sense that he is peaceful, he is tolerant, he is compassionate. He only accepts prasadam, ordinary vegetarian food. He never indulges in any type of violence against any other living entity. And so many other characteristics. Other person who is in sattva. The person who is in raja is the person who is always using his senses to be busy in the material world. Always trying to be engaged in so many different types of activities and projects. Means very restless type of people. They like very stimulant food, like also spicy food. He might make use of some meats, types of meats, like that. Then the person in tamas is the person who is completely lethargic, completely stagnated, in deep, abuse of illicit substances, intoxication, sleepiness, also a lot of meat eating, a lot of bad habits. What to speak of the character? A person without compassion, without tolerance, without proper even understanding of something completely beyond his body. He can only see his body and the material world. He cannot see anything beyond that. Okay? So, then in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna is saying that the gunas produce 3 varieties of scriptures: water, population, place, time, action, birth, meditation, mantra, and samskaras. Means everything in this world is subjected to the influence of the 3 gunas. Everything, including the Vedas itself, including the mantras. Like for example, you see all these skulls and all these things here. This is the tamasic aspect of the Vedas. Yeah. And then you see from that side, that's the sattvic aspect of Bhakti. Yes. So, actually, it's then in between you have the demigods worship, which is the rajasic aspect of devotion. In fact, Krishna Bhakti, it's not even in Sattva Guna. It is beyond. This is Nirguna. Bhakti is Nirguna. But it starts from Sattva Guna. Okay? In the same way, Patanjali, he has described the different stages of consciousness based on the 3 gunas. So the first stage is based on tamas. He named it Muddha. Means the most ignorant aspect of somebody. The most contracted type of consciousness. This is called Muddha. Then next stage is called Kshipta. It is influenced by rajas. The next stage is called Ekagra. And this is one-pointed sattva. No, sorry, I jumped one. Another one after Kshipta is Vikshipta. Means a mixture between rajas and sattva. Then Ekagra means one-pointed sattva, which is the first stage of samadhi called Sampragyata Samadhi. Okay? In this stage of samadhi, you still have the bodily conception. You still understand that you are in this body having one spiritual experience. Then when you transcend the 3 gunas, you come to Nirguna. And that is called Asampragyata Samadhi. In that stage of Asampragyata, there is no more bodily identification. There is only the soul, the consciousness of the soul, and God's relation. Then in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says that this divine energy of mind which consists of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered to me can easily overcome it. So the only way to overcome the influence of the three gunas is if you do Krishna Bhakti. There is no other way. You can worship all demigods, you can worship all types of like forefathers, all types of bhakti, but they can never take you beyond the three gunas. So if you want to go beyond the influence of the material nature, which is called the three gunas, the only way is to perform Krishna Bhakti. And then in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna says something very interesting. Krishna says that by increasing sattva, the dharma, which is characterized by bhakti for me, becomes prominent. From that sattva, dharma arises. So this is a very, very important information. When you establish yourself in sattvic life, then the desire to perform dharma manifests. What is that desire? The desire of dharma means serving Krishna, Krishna Bhakti, right? So that is why it's so important to follow the principles that Patanjali told as in yamas and yamas. Yamas and yamas means how to follow vegetarianism, how to not intoxicate, do not gamble, do not do illicit sex, do not be like dishonest, do not steal, do not lie, all types of principles that we need so that we can come to Sattva Guna. So that's why it's so important that first our acharyas, they establish you should follow the principles. And then you can only follow bhakti afterwards. They will not tell you first chant 64 rounds every day. No. They'll say first, give up the bad habits, come to Sattva Guna. Then automatically, naturally, you have desire to perform bhakti. Right? In the same way, when you go to the yoga class, when you go to the yoga school, you are, suppose this is your first day in yoga school. You have so much body pain, tension, stress, so many types of, problems are going on, your mind is distressed. Then you come to the yoga class and you begin to do the asanas and the pranayamas. They are sattvic activities. So what happened? That tension, that contraction you had that is tamasic, begin to release. And then when the energy is flowing, means you are in rajas. By continuing that practice, you come to the balance which is sattva. And then you feel so good. Say, oh my God, this is so nice. I've never felt so good in my life. I'm not only feeling my body light, but I'm so confident. I see my problems very small. I can easily, take care of everything. I'm so confident. My self-esteem is so high. This is sattvic stage of consciousness. And then you come back home and say, oh, this is the best thing of my life. I will come back next day. And then you go to sleep. You again take up your habits. Again you move slowly from sattva to tamas. Because you're not established in sattva yet. So you'll be back to tamas. And the next morning, when your alarm is ringing, you just think twice and say, okay, let me sleep a little bit more. Maybe I go tomorrow to my yoga class. Because this is our tamasic nature. Although you know there is something good, but it will pull you back, right? I think all of us experience this, right? Because we are not yet established in Sattva Guna. We are definitely very much advanced. We are living like a sattvic life most of the time. But nevertheless, still there is influence of Tamaguna. We don't want to wake up in Brahma Muhurta. We don't want to, do so many things, right? But gradually, by practicing, automatically sattva will be established. And then you don't need to put your alarm for waking up 3 o'clock. Your body will wake up naturally because your body is sattvic. So it will automatically wake up full of energy at that time. That's why our acharyas, they wake up 2 a.m., 2:30 a.m. because they are sattvic. For them there is no austerity. There is no need for putting alarm. They naturally arise when the sattvic atmosphere is transformed. Because during the day, as Bihari was yesterday explaining, you have like rajas and tamas prevailing, and the only sattvic time is the time from 3 to 6 in the morning. So if you are naturally sattvic, you just wake up when that atmosphere is manifesting. Okay? So that is why it's very important to teach people. First, come to Sattva Guna. Then naturally, without any imposition, the desire for bhakti will manifest in the heart. Alright, so explain these points. Now you can have a very basic idea how the world works and how we have to endeavor to perform this bhakti yoga in the best way possible. But now it's very important to define what is yoga. What yoga means. Because we are, this word yoga has become very, very popular, and but nevertheless, very few people know the real meaning of yoga, right? So according to the Vedas, there are 3 levels of understanding of any subject, also based on tamas, rajas and sattva. Okay? These are called rutis. So the first one, based on tamaguna, is called agyaruti. Agyaruti is the understanding of something based on tamas. So suppose you want to define the word yoga according to this agyaruti. What definition will be? Oh, yoga is for stretching, is for relaxing, is for feeling good, for losing weight, for feeling strength, making the muscles tonic like this. But this is not the real meaning of yoga, right? Then we come to the second level, which is called sadharana ruti, or etymological meaning of the words. And this is already in sattva. Okay? So, what is the meaning of yoga? The etymological meaning of yoga. It comes from the verbal root yuj, which means unite, which means to link, right? To unite what? To link what? The soul and the super soul. The soul and God. And when you link these two, what do you want to do? You want to perform service, bhakti, right? But then, this definition is very good. This definition is quite enough. But it's not everything. Because there is the third level of understanding, which is called vidvadruti, which is nirguna, which is beyond the comprehension of the material mind. And that is the real yoga. Because at this point, yoga means one experience. That is why it's so difficult for the pure devotees or for the yogis to describe what they see, what they experience in yoga. Because first, material language is limited. Second, if you don't have that experience, how will you understand what he said? But actually, this is the real definition of yoga. This is vidvadruti. So now I will try to explain to you. I will try to take you as close as possible to this understanding of yoga according to nirguna or vidvadruti, which is the transcendental aspect of yoga. Okay? Alright. So now, let us take the basic understanding of yoga given by Krishna and Patanjali. Okay? What is the basic definition that Krishna gave about yoga in Bhagavad Gita? Anyone knows? No? Krishna says, Samatvam yoga uchate. To achieve the stage of being equipoised. This is called yoga. What equipoised means? Equipoised means to see the world from an absolute perspective. Means to see God, Paramatma, behind everything. To see that you are not this body, to see that you are a soul, and the soul is connected to Paramatma, to Bhagavan. So this is Samatvam Yoga Uchati. Okay? So, but the fact of seeing the world in an equipoised manner does not mean that you are doing seva to Krishna. So this is not actually the definition of yoga. This is what causes yoga. Right? In the same way, the definition of Patanjali, the basic definition of Patanjali is called Yogas Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Patanjali says, yoga means to eliminate the oscillations of the chitta. Okay? So, what is chitta? Usually chitta is translated as mind or heart. But in fact, chitta is neither both. Chitta is something very special. Chitta is the mind of the soul. Chitta is a place where you have your spiritual realization. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur used to call chitta as the Upalobdhi Sthanam. Upalobdhi means self-realization, spiritual realization. Sthana means place. So chitta is a dimension of the consciousness that is a byproduct of the aspect of chit. That is where you have your spiritual realization. In other words, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called chitta as a mirror. Cheto dharpana marjana. Cleaning the mirror of the chitta. Patanjali also explains the chitta as a mirror. We are going to see further. But anyway, now coming back again to the definition. He's saying that yoga means to eliminate the oscillations. What are these oscillations? He explains. The oscillation of the chitta is the ahankara, the buddhi and the manas. False ego, mind and intelligence. But again, I ask you, to eliminate these oscillations, is it yoga or what causes yoga? This is what causes yoga. Because to eliminate something, it's related to the material world, not to Krishna. So this is also not the final definition of yoga. But this is what commonly people will explain what yoga means. But let's see if both Krishna and Patanjali maybe have a deeper understanding of yoga or not. Right? Alright. Now you have to see this thing here a little bit. That will make you understand easily. First you have the soul. The nature of the soul is Satchitananda. And below that, when the soul enters in the material world, receives two bodies, subtle and gross bodies. The aspect of chit of the soul, which means consciousness, it creates the chitta. And the chitta is like the mind of the soul, not the mind of the body. Because the mind of the body is manas, it is below. Understand? So if we say that chitta is mind, is wrong. If we say chitta is heart, is also wrong. So chitta is much beyond. Okay? So in this way, the chitta is in pure sattva. So it means chitta is also material. Chitta is not spiritual. But nevertheless, it is like a mirror where you first have your first identification as your swarupa. Okay, later, Patanjali will explain this. So when this chitta, which is sattva, is touched by rajas, it manifests as the pranas, the 5 pranas. Prana, pana, udana, samana and vyana. Everything in this world is moved by prana. Prana means air. Air means movement. Movement means rajas. Therefore, rajas touch the chitta, manifest the pranas. Okay? So prana is very subtle, right? Chitta is even more subtle. Prana is raja. Chitta is sattva. Okay? So when this prana condenses even more, then what happened? It will manifest as the samskaras and little bit more as the memories. Okay? So all of these are condensations of the prana. Okay? So now, when the chitta is touched by tamas, it was first touched by rajas, became prana. Now second is touched by tamas. and then becomes the ahankara. Ahankara is the first layer of our subtle body. Okay, this is the beginning of tamasic reality. Okay, then all these different transformations come. Then after we come buddhi, which means intelligence. After we come manas, which is the material mind. Okay. So now Krishna is saying, by mastering the yogic procedures of breathing and sitting properly, means asana and pranayamas, one should practice fixing the mind on me at sunrise, moon and sunset. And gradually the mind should be completely absorbed in me. Means we chant our Gayatris 3 times a day. So Krishna is saying, okay, you already know how to do pranayamas, asanas. For what you are doing this? For worshipping me. Now you should put your mind and absorb your mind in me. We should sit properly. When Gurudeva teach you how to chant Gayatri mantras, what he says? Sit in Padmasana with back straight, close your eyes, facing east or north, and then you chant your Gayatri. And I have seen Gurudeva till last moments, in old age, he's sitting fully back straight to chant Gayatri, fully back straight. This is asana. This is asana. So in this way, Krishna is saying, yes, it's very good if you learn asanas and pranayamas, but for what? To support bhakti. Not for your own well-being, oh, I am now relaxed, very nice, oh, I am chilling out. No, not for that. And then now Patanjali is saying, when your mind is fixed, means Krishna is saying, when your mind is fixed in me, then what happens? Now Patanjali describes this state of asampragyata samadhi, which is the beholder will see his own spiritual form in a mirror. Means when my chitta is clean, when I have conquered the influence of ahankara, manas and buddhi, which is the dirty of the chitta, then the mirror is clean and I can see myself. And what I will see? My swarupa. Patanjali said. Okay? And what the next step? He's saying, through the self-study, then there is union with your worshipable deity. What is self-study? Swadhyaya. Means in that mirror, I will begin to analyze myself. I will see myself with my ekadasha bhava, with all my spiritual features, my dress, my name, my appearance, my age, my gender, everything. And then what he's saying? Swadhyaya ishtadivata samprayogaha. Now he's saying samprayoga. See, now the complete yoga will happen. Only when you, as Swarupa, and your Ishtadev are united. And that first darshan happens in the chitta, in the mirror of the heart. Because you cannot identify yourself, the soul cannot identify itself in the material world without the help of the chitta. The chitta is like an instrument for the soul to be able to see itself. This is how in this material world this mechanism operates. It works like that. Krishna created in this way. We have to understand in this way. So here, Patanjali is very clear. He's saying that is our Ishtadeva, our worshipable deity. And you have a spiritual form also. The soul is not only light and energy. The soul has a form, a shape. The soul has a name. The soul has seva, activities. In eternal relation with your worshipable deity. Be it Krishna, be it Rama, Nrsimha, Narayana, no matter. It's not because I worship Krishna that I want to try to convince you to worship Krishna. It's not like that. It's about trying to make you understand what is your eternal worshipable deity. If that happens to be Krishna, fine. We'll do bhajan together. But if happen to be different one, okay, I'm very happy for you. One time Srila Gurudeva was giving Diksha in Govardhan. And after explaining the meaning of the Gayatri mantras and all the meditation we do in Radha Krishna, like that, Gurudeva, he pointed to one lady and told, but you meditate in Sitaram. And she began to cry because she felt, oh my God, when Gurudev was explaining all this meditation in Krishna, I was thinking, okay, I love Krishna, but how can I give up my Ram? How can I not worship? My heart was pumping that I want to do all these things for Ram. And Guru knows that. So Guru is the one who is going actually to, first of all, tell you, what is your Swarupa? So that he will stimulate you to continue doing sadhana more intensely, to quickly achieve that perfection. So this is how things actually used to work in the past. In the past, the Guru, he used to reveal very quickly what is the Swarupa of the disciple. If you read Jaiva Dharma, you can see in the very beginning of Jaiva Dharma, when Sannyasi Thakur, that Mayavadi Sannyasi, comes to Premdas Babaji in Godruma, he is fully dressed as a Mayavadi Sannyasi in orange robes, no tilak, no kantimala, nothing, no sikha. And he begins to take instructions from Babaji Maharaj because he was touched by the chanting of a pure Vaishnava when he was in Varanasi. And by that awoke his devotion. And then Babaji Maharaj begins to teach him basic tattvas and Harinam, chanting Harinam. And suddenly one day, Babaji Maharaj, he is meditating in Nishantalila. And then he turns toward Sannyasi Thakur and says, oh, your name is Ramana Manjari. Your seva is to stop the kakati, the she monkey that is making noise and is going to wake up Radharani and Krishna before the proper time for them to wake up. Now they're taking rest. So this is your seva. So basically, Babaji Maharaj gave Ekadasha Bhava to someone who was not even dressing as a Vaishnava. What to speak of understanding or following anything. Why is that? Because in those times it was normal, it was the common practice. But after that, you can see that Babaji Maharaj never spoke more about this. Sannyasi Thakur, he never tried to artificially meditate on that Ramana Manjari, in that seva. He completely put that aside and he went to study what is Dharma, Naimitik Dharma, Nitya Dharma, then start all the first subjects of Java Dharma and chanting Harinam regularly, 3 lakhs, 2 lakhs every day. So if the disciple is sincere, the Guru can reveal to him. Why they stopped doing this? Because of the Sahajiyas. And the Sahajiyas became, when they started doing this, without the proper qualification of the Guru and also of the disciple, things became like a madness. And then Srila Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he was the one that stopped this completely. No need to say more. Because if we keep saying, they will take us as the as the Babajis, and then the problem will come. And our people, they will go to the Babajis just to be able to get that, right? So he said no. Now, whenever anyone comes, they will understand, okay, we are in the line of the Manjaris, we are in the line of the maid servants of Radharani, and our bhajan is for that. But what is your name specifically, all these things, no need to say. But it's very clear. We are doing upasana, worship for being a Paryadasi of Srimati Radhika. This is a fact. That's the only thing that Gurudeva has given. So you can easily understand. No need Gurudeva to say to you directly, you are a Manjari. You are a Manjari. If you would not be, then he would tell you, like he told to this lady, okay, you are worshipping Sitaram. You are worshipping, Lakshmi Narayan or something else. But if he has not told you, it means everything is fine. You should continue doing the sadhana for Manjari Bhav. But only in the latest stages that he is going to reveal to you your Ekadasha Bhava. Means your name, dress, age, your seva, your village, your in-laws' names, your husband, everything. Okay? So, anyhow, it is going to happen in the same way. If you know it before or not, it's going to happen in the same way, right? When we get realization. Okay? So, in this way, very clearly, Patanjali is saying the same thing. Okay? You see that your spiritual Swarupa in the clear mirror of the Chitta. Cheto Dharpana Marjana. Right? And then Patanjali says, Samadhi Siddhi Ishvara Pranidhanat. Patanjali is saying the perfection of Samadhi is Ishvara Pranidhana. Ishvara Pranidhana means devotion to God, devotion to Ishvara. Pranidhanat means, or Pranidhana means very deep meditation, like Ashakti, like Bhav towards your Ishtadeva. Right? So, Patanjali is clearly saying that the perfection is Bhakti Yoga. Patanjali never said that you will become that God has no form, that God is only light. He never said that. What he's saying? God has form, you also have your spiritual form, and you are going to be the servant of that Ishtadeva. Okay, nevertheless, let us analyze and see what is the meaning of the word Ishvara here. You know, according to the Vedas, there are three Ishwaras, right? Bhagavan, Paramatma, and Brahma. Bhagavan is the personality of God, is the aspect of God that has body, name, qualities, pastimes. Nama, Guna, Rupa, Lila. Paramatma is the localized aspect of Bhagavan inside of each atom of the material world and in the heart of the jivas. He also has form, but he has no leelas, no pastimes, and only one name. And Brahma. Brahma is the effulgence, is the impersonal aspect of God, which is permeating everywhere through light and energy. So, now let us consider that Patanjali is putting this Ishwar as Brahma. Suppose that Patanjali believes that God is Brahma. Why Brahma cannot be our Ishtadeva? Because you cannot serve Brahma. With the light, you cannot serve. There is no relationship with the light. Light has no form. There is no way to serve the light. So definitely Brahma is not our Ishtadeva. Also Brahma is situated in Brahmajyoti. And Brahmajyoti is just the border of the material universe and the spiritual universe. So it cannot be Brahma. And now suppose he's saying that this Ishvara is Paramatma. What is the problem in having Paramatma as Ishtadeva? You know? Why Paramatma cannot be our Ishtadeva? You have an idea?
Because he's temporary also.
He is temporary, yes. He only exists in this material world. There is no Paramatma in the transcendental world. So he is a temporary manifestation of God in this material world. So many yogis, they want to merge in Paramatma or they want to meditate in Paramatma. Be careful, because Paramatma is not eternal. So definitely this Ishvara is also not Paramatma. So this Ishvara can only means Bhagavan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which has names, qualities, forms, and pastimes. He's the one that can accept your seva, that can also reciprocate with you, with whom you can exchange love. Can you exchange love with Brahma? No. Why? Because love, it is exchange of service between two objects. And when you go to Brahma, your meditation is that you are Brahma. You become identified with Brahma in your Samadhi. In the mirror of the Chitta reflects Brahma because you meditated only in Brahma. You stimulated only that. So it's like you are pushing the concept of Brahma in your Chitta. So when you see that, you think, I am Brahma. But that is temporary, that cannot be eternal. Because your real Swarupa one day must manifest. Because that Swarupa has a power. That Swarupa is eternal. If the Swarupa is eternal, it cannot be suppressed eternally, only temporarily. After some point, it has to manifest. So in this way, who is? Yes.
Why is the Ishtadev of the yogis not Shiva? Or why didn't Patanjali not think it's Shiva?
No, not saying Shiva. He's not saying Shiva, but it may be Shiva. As I told in the beginning, your Ishtadeva can be, there is some options. Maybe Krishna, Narayana, Nrsimha, Rama, also Shiva. Shiva is also one aspect of God. He's also in the spiritual world. So this Ishvara is a general name. He's not saying this Ishvara is only Krishna or only Rama. No. He's saying this is the personality of God. It can be Shiva. But the aspect of Shiva which is called Sadashiva. And there are many types of Shivas, right? Not only one. But nevertheless, we know that Lord Shiva himself, he's a servant of Krishna. And Lord Brahma, he says in Brahman Samhita, Ishvara Parama Krishna Sachidananda Vigraha Anadiradi Govinda Sarva Karana Karana. The Supreme Ishwar, the Parameshwar, this is Govinda. He's the cause of all causes. Alright, now comes another question. Many people, they search for yoga with the intention to become God. They think I am God. They think I am the whole, I am the infinite. This is actually one of the biggest illusions that Maya put on us. When I was young, I was also thinking like this. I also thought that I am God. I was a Mayavadi when I was like a teenager. And I had many realizations on that side of the process, So, but what Patanjali says? Patanjali is saying, Ishvara is a divine person untouched by afflictions, karma and reactions. Means Ishvara could never be touched by any suffering, any karma, any illusion. And the thing is that all the people who search for yoga, they want to what? Get rid of their suffering, get rid of their illusions. So how they can be Ishvara? If for 1 second you are deluded by Maya, if for 1 second you are attached to your sense gratification, if for 1 second you receive the karma of your actions, then you are not Ishvara. I have a bad news for you. You are not Ishvara. Because Ishvara, he can never be deluded by Maya, by Mahamaya. Only by Yoga Maya, but not by Mahamaya. So it is the greatest illusion to think that you are God. But human being has a very strong false ego. Human beings think, sometimes they go to the opposite. They think, I am useless, I have no value, I am completely, irrelevant, all these things. Then someone comes to you and say, no, you are not irrelevant. You are great. You are God himself. Get up, stand up, be positive. You are God. Inside of you there is God. I am God, you are God. All these bogus gurus, they say these things. No. God was never into this material world to become bewildered. I used to say that if God would have to become each one of us, I'd rather to be an atheistic. Because this is not the God I want to worship. This is not my almighty God, which is beyond everything, which is omnipotent, omnipresent, omniscient, which is manifesting wonders. Why he wants to become me, or you, or anyone in this world? For what? He has no need of this type of experience. So it is a great illusion, a great mistake to think that God one day has become all of us and that we are now going to become again God. This is a completely, wrong idea. We can discuss more deeply all the philosophical, arguments, but not today. We are just passing by this thing, All right. Then now Srimad Bhagavatam is saying, so when you are established now in the immaculate goodness, means Shuddha Sattva. Now no longer Sattva. Now is Shuddha Sattva. Now this is beyond, from Chitta onwards. Chitta is pure Sattva, in the sense the finest Sattva. But beyond that you have Shuddha Sattva. And beyond that you have Vishuddha Sattva. And beyond that you have Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma, which is Bhav. And then you have Prem. And then you have Sneha, Man, Pranaya, Rag, Anurag, Bhav, Mahabhav, Rudh, Adirudh, Madan, Modan, Madanakya Mahabhav, Prem Vachitya, Swasam Vedadasya. These are all the levels of existence, which are nothing else than the transformations of prema, the transformations of love. Love is the beginning of everything. Love is like the sun. And the last, like the last light that you can see, this is Shraddha. Shraddha is the first stage of Bhakti, right? So that is the first step of prema. And then as you develop everything, you coming closer and closer to prema, like that. Like a gradation, okay? Less power, coming like this. So in this way, so Krishna is saying, then after you are establishing that, by cultivating Bhakti Yoga, you become free from all contaminations and you receive knowledge of Krishna. Means now you have realization, you have directly access to Krishna. And then in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, to those who are constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give the understanding by which they can unite with me. So now Krishna is what? Dadhami buddhi yogam tam. I am giving you the understanding so that you can come to me. What does it mean? It means that perfection is not coming only by your endeavor. As many of these yogis, they think if I follow such rules, if I do some exercises, such and such years of penances and meditation, I will definitely be enlightened. No, my friend. Enlightenment means when God wants to reveal Himself to you. He has desires. God is not an object on the shelf that you can reach when you want. God is a person. God is a living being. In the same way, you have to cultivate a relationship with every living entity, even with a dog. You cannot just go to the dog and say, do this, do that. You have to cultivate the dog. If the dog wants, then he accepts your order. What to speak of God? So enlightenment is not that, I'm going to do something like a recipe and it's going to result enlightenment. No. You have to pray, you have to beg, you have to deserve. You have to conquer the heart of Krishna by your devotion. And when he is completely controlled, then he reveals himself. Therefore Krishna says, Tadami Buddhi, I am giving you the Buddhi for yoga. The way to yoga, I am giving you. You're not doing. I will do. Otherwise, no possibilities of self-realization. And then in Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadeva Goswami says that as soon as Shuddha Sattva Visheshatma, means Bhava, is established in the heart, then no more tamas, no more rajas can influence you. And what's going to happen? You become completely happy. What is the meaning of happiness? Now we are coming to the last part of our presentation. What is the meaning of happiness? When you say that you're going to be happy, let us try to understand. So Prabhupada, he used to say in a very simple way, chant and be happy. Very simple thing, no? But what is behind this? Let's understand the deep philosophy behind the chant and be happy. So first of all, in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, Shabda Ke means I am sound in ether. You know this verse, no? The 7.8. Krishna says, I am the taste of water, the light of the sun and the moon, the syllable Om in the Vedic mantras. I am the sound in ether.
And the skilling man.
And the skilling man, yes. In Purusham Drishu. So, what is the connection to be sound in ether? What is the meaning of ether? Ether is one of the elements. And in Sanskrit it calls Akash. Here, he's saying Shabda Ke. Ke means a locative sense, means in the Ka. Okay, in the Ka. Ka means Akash. Okay? What is the word for happiness in Sanskrit?
Sukha.
Sukha. Su means to expand. And Ka means the ether. Oh, but what is my happiness has to do with the expansion of the ether? Right? Because the chitta, it dwells in the ether. The chitta is sattva, is very subtle, very fine, therefore it dwells in the ether. So the more you expand your chitta, your consciousness, okay, in quotation marks, the more you expand your chitta, more happy you are. Why? Because you are expanding your horizon of causality. The more you know the cause of the causes, the more you are getting rid of your sufferings. And when you come to the final cause, the ultimate cause, which is Sarva Karana Karanam, the cause of all causes, what is that? That is Krishna. So therefore Krishna says, I am the sound in ether. He means to say, if you chant my name, you expand your consciousness, and then the yoga can happen. When your chitta is fully expanded, fully clean, then I will be there. Then this is called Krishna consciousness. And what is the meaning of the word unhappiness? Dukkha. Du means to contract. So the more contracted is your consciousness, the more unhappy, because the more ignorance you have. When you go to the psychologist, does he cure you of anything? No. What is his job? To make you understand the cause of your suffering. Right? So in the same way, Guru is like the spiritual psychologist. He's going to make you understand the cause of your existence, the cause of all your problems, which is actually only one problem, that you don't know Krishna. That's our only problem. If you solve that, everything else is solved. Right? So Guru is going to expand your consciousness by and by giving you knowledge of Krishna. So the more you know the cause of all causes, the more happy you are. And when that comes to the final point, then this is called happiness. You are established in happiness. And the best way to be happy is chanting. So chant and be happy. By chanting you clean the chitta, the mirror of the chitta, means you are expanding your chitta. We can use words in so many different ways. Expanding, cleaning. I mean, it's all material language, okay? But the thing is, something is happening, okay? We can have some idea actually, you know. Because, you see, in Jaiva Dharma, Srila Bhakti Thakur, when he's describing about Jiva Tattva, he says, no matter how many examples I will give, it is only Shaka Chandra Nyaya. Shaka Chandra Nyaya is when you point to the moon on the top of the branch of the tree. And you say the moon is on the branch of the tree. But the moon is not there. But you have to create a second reality, which is not true, is a false, to show something real. Means the moon. Right? So in the same way, for all this subject matter, we have to create examples, metaphors, which are not real, to show something which is real. So then he says, forget about all these examples, being the spark of the fire, being the drop of the ocean, forget about it. It is not like that. You have to do bhajan and realize what it actually means. But what he can do by creating all these Shaka Chandra Nyaya examples is just to avoid what is not that reality. You can say what it is not, but you cannot say what it is fully. You got my point? We can define what consciousness is not, but to define what consciousness is quite difficult. So in the same way, they give these ideas for you to understand what is not Jiva Tattva, what is not correct in Jiva Tattva, and give you a little bit of track of what is the correct way. But the fully reality, only when you have the realization, otherwise not. Okay? Then we end up our presentation by saying that, in Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, Krishna says, Yoganam Atma Samurodho, the final stage of Samadhi. I am that. I am the final stage of Samadhi. So this is the final proof that when you enter Samadhi, you're going to find Krishna. Of whatever we have said was just to prove this point. And Krishna himself declared, from all the stages of Ashtanga Yoga, the last is me. Gaur Pramanande.
Hari
Hari Bol. Any questions? Any doubts you have?
You explained about that the Sahajas, they are having this wrong conception that they will give you your identity, like your eternal spirit. While on the other side, we saying that just by our effort, by the Maha Mantra and Krishna and Guru, they will reveal it in our heart. So, is it that the eternal Svarup, or the feeling of this Svarup, it's inherent already since time immemorial in the Jiva?
Yes.
Or is it?
Swarupa is eternal.
It is eternal.
The soul is
but
eternal.
it is accompanying the Jiva, but he forget about it, and it is inherent, so to say.
Yes.
Or is it?
Yes.
Or maybe is it a combination of both? That.
I see. I know where you want to go, and I can tell you just one thing. I believe what my Gurudev told. So I don't want to prove what is wrong, what is right. I just follow what my Gurudev told. So my Gurudev told the Swarupa is eternal, does not change, does not, is like, received or made up. No. It was always there and it's just going to reveal itself. I know there are other conceptions, even in Gauriya Math also, and I respect that fully, but I follow what my Gurudev told. So I'm not here to prove who is wrong or who is right.
Because maybe somebody else may have a different Guru, he will give him in a different way also.
Yes.
So our Guru gives.
Yes, no problem.
Yes.
In Gauriya Math itself, not everyone agree with my Gurudev in this point.
Yes.
So this is like a common ground. There are these differences. No problem. It's healthy.
And about Patanjali, about the identity of the soul, is there some shortcoming when we compare it to the philosophy of Achintya Vedanta of Mahaprabhu? Like this, the soul.
He's not going that far.
He's not going that far.
Yeah, he's not going that far. He's very basic.
Yes.
Very basic. Very basic. But he's like a bridge. Just like also the Mayavadis, the theory of Mayavad of Shankaracharya is also a bridge. He's also one bridge.
Yeah.
Like that.
So
but he's not going even the four Vaishnavacharyas, they did not go that deep.
Yes.
How does we go Patanjali?
Yes.
That was, the cherry of the cake Mahaprabhu reserved for himself. He said, I am God. I am the most beautiful manifestation of God. I am going to bring the last Siddhanta available, which is Parakya Rasa, and the last Jiva Tattva conception, which is Achintya Vedanta.
Because Krishna himself, no?
And after that, there is nothing new to come.
Mm.
Everything is there now. There is no more new understanding, interpretation, because all the different realms of God have been already represented by different sampradayas. So the last one was the Parakya Sampradaya, which is the Gaudiya Sampradaya, in Mahaprabhu's line, Rupa Goswami's line. So now there is nothing new, because there is no other relation with God that could be revealed higher than that. So we have come to the 0 point, right? No, not 0 point, like the complete understanding now. Nothing more new in Siddhanta, in the in worship, anything like that. Nothing. Everything is already revealed. Because the ultimate truth is fixed. It's not changing all the time. It's fixed. Radha Krishna, Swakya, Parakya, then Mathura, then Dwaraka, then Ram, Sitaram, then Narayana, Nrsimha, Shiva, Bas. This is the structure. Relationships are fixed. So there is nothing more new that can appear. So Mahaprabhu, he reserved for himself, like, I'm going to put the last. Like the chocolate, syrup on top of the cake. I am putting the chocolate and the cherry. Because he gave the final two, siddhantas. Means this Parakya Sampradaya was like the chocolate sauce, and the cherries were the chincha beda beda.
Oh, Maharaj, and Patanjali, when did he descend? Which Kali Yuga? Or?
Yes.
It's like
2000 something years ago.
before
Was it like in
Yeah,
Jesus Christ's times?
Around that. There are some controversies on his age, but around that time.
So this Ramani Manjari is Gurudev's Manjari or some other Manjari maybe? It's not
Gurudev has same name.
just the same name.
Same name. Many Manjari, they can have same name. No problem.
Yeah.
But definitely, this one from the book is not about Gurudev. No, not at all.
Vaishnava Thakur, no? The Sannyasi.
Sannyasi Thakur, Vaishnava Das.
Vaishnava Das.
Vaishnava Das was his Harinam, and his name was Sannyasi Thakur. I mean, he was being called as Sannyasi Thakur. His name must be something different, like something like
Paramahams or something?
yeah, some name with like a Mayavadi Sannyasi name. Okay, is it clear? Because Gradu understood something. Yes. Okay. Prabhu also, you could get some translation. Yeah. Okay. If you have any questions, then you can ask. Okay.
Maybe she's a yoga teacher also, so we
She's
probably he's doing I think asanas teaching.
Okay.
It was
You have a
interesting.
question?
No, but yeah, it's just one part of my occupation. But yeah, I'm a little bit, I'm very realistic and down to earth, because most of my disciples, they just want to be fit from yoga.
Yes. That's
But it was very nice how you explained this.
Yes.
And, yeah, it was very inspiring for me.
Thank you.
And because you explained it very clear, and on the other hand, on a very high level.
Yes.
And yeah, it was very inspiring for me. And I think you should go, because in Germany we have
Yoga Vidya?
the biggest yoga center of Europe. And
Called by
I think-
Mahavir.
Yeah, I think you should go there. And
If you arrange, I will go. Otherwise,
we should arrange
Yeah.
there's many people as well, yoga teachers.
If you know
Yes.
how to get there.
Tarun and
Yeah.
Vilasini, they live in that town, just 5 minutes walking from.
They still live there.
Yes.
And
Can you connect them?
Brachanath Prabhu was living there also.
Maybe
He was
he
living
can
there.
There's a few devotees
But
connected
your
there.
brother from us who live next to that big yoga center. You-
Yeah, I live with
We can
them
try
like
for
2
next
years,
time.
Just 5 minutes.
We can
walking.
try for
Very
next
nice.
time.
yeah.
You come back
I
next
do a
year.
lot of yoga studio programs.
Hmm.
Just now I came from Vienna. We did many there, and combined with nice kirtan. You did not see me play, no? I play mantra, you know.
Yesterday.
No, now harmonium.
No,
you know?
no, I.
Yeah, it's very, very beautiful, very nice.
It's recorded.
And I have also on my YouTube, I think I sent to you now,
Yes.
that
So
recording.
beautiful.
So usually I do this combo, you know, lecture, then end up with nice kirtan. First sitting meditation kirtan, then after we dance, we do some, you know, like for, you know, liberating, you know, energy. And yes, it's very, very, I mean, effective. And I have many different presentations also. This one's supposed to be today with the slides because it helps for people to see, you know, and grasp things. When I'm speaking, it's difficult to memorize many things. But when you have it visually, you know, then it's much easier for the people to anchor and capture and follow. It becomes more, you go more deep inside.
Yes.
So besides this one, I have also the one about the power of mantra. I also go very deep in understanding about mantra and how it works. First, I explain the power of sound and how afterwards in devotion, you know, many things, and so many different subjects. I have my my portfolio I can share with you. There I have many things structured, like, you know. I also do the fire ceremonies. Usually, these studios they like so much, you know, for purification, and it's very, very powerful also. Yeah, so I'm very, very much open for this type of programs.
Yeah, they invited as well some Bhakti yogis, like I think Sadhu Maharaj was there. So.
Which Sadhu Maharaj you mean? From where? Which one? There are a few Sadhu Maharaj.
From India, from Monga Mandir.
Oh, Mangar Mandir.
I think Sachinanda Swami from ISKCON.
Most probably,
there.
yes. We can try.
Brian
Yes,
also.
next one.
Here we can
Brian
organize.
also was going there.
Did I send you my portfolio? No,
I don't think so, no.
I will send.
Yes,
And you can
please.
share with her.
Yes. We anyway have some future plans together, so we can.
Okay.
We have a plan now, like a project, ideas we had.
You can see on my Instagram. I have videos and things of the previous programs.
And the
I
WhatsApp
think
group.
the content is not a problem because the boss there is very open and
And I am quoting the scriptures, no? That's the main thing.
Yes.
I am showing the scriptures.
Yes.
I'm not going to propose some speculation. And that's the challenge point, you know. And because when you show the shloka and when you prove and say, how can you refute it, right? And but as I was telling in the beginning of our spiritual life, we start in a selfish way, and it is fine. Like for example, chant and be happy. So first, you want to make the people feel that they will get something. But actually, when you come to the highest understanding, it's not chant and be happy. It's chant and make Krishna happy. If I will be happy or not, doesn't matter. So people, they will come to the lectures, to your classes, trying to have more, what?
Happiness.
No, not happiness. Relaxations, you know, proper, you know, get rid of diseases, you know, become more self-balanced, come to Sattva Guna, feel more self-confident, see the problems a little bit more distant. And then as they practice, they come to Sattva Guna. Krishna told, when you're establishing Sattva, then the desire for Bhakti manifests in the heart. So this is like a stage for them. Let them come for whatever reason, no problem. As they continue practicing, if you will somehow or other give some ingredients that will, you know, stimulate a little bit of devotion, then that will be perfect. Without being too much, of course, for them, but time to time you can read one verse from Gita, you can make them mantra, you know, Maha Mantra, have some, you know, pinch of Bhakti Yoga here and there, read some verse from Patanjali here and there. So gradually, slowly, that will come. I have experience with many yoga studios, working with many teachers. And I was also a Ashtanga yoga teacher in the past. You know? I was also having the same ideas which now I am, trying to refute. Understand? So it is natural. It happens like this. And the
And
best.
I have this conception. I don't want to bore anybody here, but you probably all know. They're chanting the Maha Mantra, the Hare Krishna mantra, but they think he's just a demigod.
Krishna is like a demigod.
Yeah, they put him on one stage like Ganesha, Shri Ram.
Oh, yeah. In that
it's
sense.
like this,
Yeah. No, that's common. Yeah. No, everywhere in India also.
Yes.
It's not only the Westerners. Actually, this comes from India and influences the Westerners.
Yes.
Because the Westerners, they have no conception about demigods or anything like that, right? So, but because they go to learn yoga in India, they get this from the teachers of India. This is called the Panchopasana worship. No, not Shankaracharya, this is in general. Panchopasana means Vishnu, Shiva, Ganesha, Durga, and Surya.
Then Ganesh temple they have Krishna and then Ganesh. Here in Berlin, it's one temple.
No problem. This is part of the dynamic,
The stages.
Yes.
But the people there, or the disciples, they always want to chant. They like the Hare Krishna mantra the most.
Yes.
They always say, we want to chant Hare Krishna.
Yes. And chanting mantra is a Bhakti Yoga practice. This is Bhakti Yoga. So you see how Bhakti Yoga is so powerful that even if they don't have the proper devotional conception, they want to manifest that. They want to be in the kirtan because there is so much power there, so much high energies there. And even if you don't have the proper philosophical understanding, you are able to experience something. So this is very positive. Are you also chanting Mahamantra?
Yes, but not enough.
Are you initiated from some?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think she's our god sister, right?
From whom?
From Gurudev.
Oh, okay, really? Okay. Very good. Because I cannot see your Kantimala from the cloth. I was trying to look and see, oh my God, it's not...
I don't have the three.
Okay.
Because it's so tight.
Yeah. No problem. All right, so let us, preach for these people slowly, Without fanaticism, without forcing anything, because you have to also to keep your job, I don't want people to run away. Oh, this teacher, she's fanatic, wants to make everyone Krishna Bhakta. But slowly, like homeopathic, drop by drop, something, But this is only helping them to be sattvic. And gradually, because you see, the transformation takes a long time.
Yes.
When you see devotees like this ready, you think, oh, it was quick for them. No. Many lifetimes. Like these two girls, they born in Vaishnava family. Oh, they're already born. So how many lifetimes they are practicing to be able to come to this point? So you are helping these people somehow, to come. And afterwards, this is like a profession, like a job. It's not your religious practice. It's a different,
Yes.
People can work in any field,
Yes.
including, yoga, Ayurveda, whatever. So there's nothing about to be guilty, about. So, yeah.
Maharaj, I have heard about the Dharma, and then they speaking about this Rasa-tattva, and I feel that is such a devotion. How can this Raganuga Bhakti performed in one lifetime? It takes maybe not hundreds.
Not also, yeah.
What do you think about it?
Yeah, also I agree, yes. Many lifetimes.
But Gurudev said sometimes it can come in one time, but it's very,
No, it can
very
because
rare. Very
it
rare.
can because everything is possible. but it's not common. Not you should not expect that. You should work hard.
Yes.
Not expecting that.
But can we say at a higher level, everything is dependent on kripa and under mercy? But
Chesta and kripa, na? Damodar Lila. Chesta and kripa.
Yeah.
Endeavor and mercy.
Endeavor.
Both. 2 fingers.
It is eternal, yes.
2 fingers always. Without endeavor, Krishna cannot see your desire, and without his mercy, you cannot achieve the final.
Anything.
I thought like when they start with the sadhana bhakti, they do more the endeavor, and then like in the bhav bhakti, they are more completely dependent on the mercy. Can you not say like that?
I think all the time it depends on the mercy. Actually, the mercy is needed until you achieve the perfection. Because even the final stage in Gopi body, they still depend on Krishna's mercy. Because they still have some smell of anarthas. Even when they are in Swarupa Siddhi stage. Krishna still has to show a little bit of mercy at that time. When you go to Goloka Vrindavan, then there is no more need for mercy. Now you are just one of them.
But at this sadhana siddha stage, they develop some abhiman also, no? So to say, some spiritual abhiman. Is it not
Which way?
abhiman, that they have some like boldness. They want to chastise Krishna sometimes also in this way.
Sadhana Siddha. You said Sadhana Siddha.
Nityas, no, sadhana siddha, yeah. Also.
I don't see any connection with what you said. Little bit confused, maybe.
Maybe, yes. I have to read more and hear more.
Shall we sing a little bit? Mantra, you want to pray a little bit harmonium?
I can, yeah, you can.